Yeah, what's up? It is Thursday night. I'm Dominic D'Angelo. It's kind of cold in Pittsburgh. Kind of cold, but I'm warming up. We're heating up because it is one of a kind. One of a kind with what's the name? It's Rob Von Dam. Rob Von Dam.
It,
Rob, good to see you.
that is not incorrect, sir.
Thanks. Thanks. I
Happy,
nailed it. I got
you
it right this
got it,
time.
man. That is.
Yeah.
If you missed the show last week, that is officially the name that was given to me in 1991 by Mister Captain Ron Slinker. Don't know what kind of captain he was, but that's what they called him. Yes, sir.
Is it
Happy
really
Thursday.
call me?
Happy Rikishi's Thong Thursday.
Ricky, what a day. Man, what a day. You can't
Oh,
beat
man.
Rikishi's Thong Thursday at all.
A day for all of us to be thankful for Rikishi's Thong.
Did they ever make the pitch for you to get the stink face, Rob?
No, and I wouldn't have done it.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't have either.
There's certain things that separated me from a lot of the workers that were easier to. I don't want to use the word manipulate because it sounds negative, but the guys that will do whatever you want them to do. I mean, that's better for you if you're the guy in charge and you can say, "I want you to do this, you do that." But they do want you to have your own individual thoughts too, and that's usually who ends up getting ahead over someone that's a total puppet. But obviously, anything that you get asked to do, I mean, if you're not going to do it, like I know, if I get easy, I can do it. But otherwise, then you think about, man, who else has done this before? And if they can do it, out of respect for them, should I do it? And then what is this really about and what's it mean? And who cares? And, but that could be with anything. That could be, I mean, some guys, and I know you've seen this, sometimes guys think it's a good idea to kiss each other in the ring. I seen Dean Ambrose do it, didn't I? Didn't he kiss a guy in the mouth? Like, I'm pretty sure it's him. And anyway, I've seen it more than once, but I don't get it. It's like, okay, you can keep that spot.
Yeah.
I don't get what's supposed to be funny about it. Like, boom, 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 mwah, boom. Like, I who's that for?
Yeah. It just adds
You've
I
seen
don't
that?
know.
You've seen that, right?
I've seen that before, and I think you're right. I think, John Moxley did that, I think, on AEW or something
For
like
sure.
that.
And I've seen it since
Yeah.
then too, but I don't get that spot. But I could see me not wanting to take that move as well. But
right.
probably better than having my fucking mouth shoved up Rikishi's fat asshole. I don't, I mean, I should compare the two. Depending on who it is, I don't know. Either way, that's really not why I got into wrestling.
No. Where do you kind of, when it comes to doing stuff like that, it's because I mean, I would always think, yeah, does it hurt your character, and how where do you weigh that off of certain circumstances? I need to know the value of my character and how to protect who I am and my identity and persona with I'm risking something like putting a damage on your image or something like that. Do you kind of, is that a big part of the consideration too when that comes into play?
With anything that you do, yeah. I mean, let's simplify it to make it really understandable. Doing jobs. I mean, anytime that they tell you go out there, you're going to get beat in 1 minute by this guy that can't work a lick and that the crowd hates, but we want to get him over. You have to think like, is that going to hurt my career or damage my character's direction? Of course it is. So then you're caught in the middle of trying to balance everything out. Well, I said no to these last two things. Like, I feel like I kind of owe them. Maybe I should show them, I'm willing to work. And there's all kinds of crazy head games that goes along with that. That's why it's crazy to have someone else in control of your character, and you actually have no control. You can't go through and you can't go through your career and just, oh, you know what? I'm never going to get beat. I'm going to be original that way. I'm going to be a guy that never gets beat. I'm going to wrestle 40 years and never do a job. Yeah, good luck getting booked.
Funny.
Yeah. I mean, just to the point that I think I already made, Everything that your character does affects how people see it, and that affects the path and your success. And that's why it's always, a cycle of happy, motivated, frustration, angry, happy, motivated, frustration, angry, because that's, at least for me, that was my experience, because that's what they would do to me, like I'm on a roll, sweet man, they're loving me, and then job, like I'm on my way out, what are you doing?
Right,
Oh,
right.
you're over. You're someone really big for him to beat. That really is a good win for him. How many times in a row you can beat me on TV and still feel that way?
Right, right. And then I bet it's got to be aggravating too. Like they say they put somebody over on you, and then after the fact they don't follow up with something like that.
Right. They get ready to
Where
fire the guy because they realize he didn't work. That happened.
right,
I'm
that's
not
got to
saying
be
Luther Reigns. I'm not saying snitch. I'm not saying, that some of the guys didn't go through that exact same thing, and that I was part of that and felt like that. But also, it's just a thing where it's your career, it's your job, and you want to be good at it, which means making the right decisions to move yourself forward. But you really, like, your hands are tied when you're part of a show like this. Just like if you're on The Sopranos, you show up to work one day, they say, hey, guess what? They're taking you out to the woods today. Like, what? No, they're gonna whack my character. Like, you can't say, I'm not gonna do that.
right.
And what an ego it takes to think that every time someone does that it's a mistake, because you're worth so much. Every wrestler interview that I hear, and it's getting more, the more I grow spiritually, the more aware I am. And I say this every week, every single wrestling promo is the ego saying, I'm the best in the world.
Yeah.
Everybody says that. Everybody in wrestling, everybody in MMA, everyone in boxing. It seems to be let the ego out, and people must love it because they've always done that. That's what the interviews have always been. So fans must love for someone to brag about having such a big ego and knowing that they're the best, and then seeing them either try to back it up for whatever reason. But yeah, when it comes to people doing interviews and saying, like, I mean, if they were going to do the right thing, they should have put me over with that guy. You know what I mean? Give me a little run or whatever, and then I had to go back, and do this. But it takes like such an ego to even say that, and it's just so blatant when I hear other people do that. Excuse me. Do you realize how narcissistic that perspective is, just to say that everyone else fucked up because this is what they did with you, and they could have done something to build you better, and they should have, if they knew what they were doing, to make more money.
Right. Well, so it's funny because I remember, I think when Kurt Angle first got into, or Vince first made the pitch to him to go into WWE and stuff like that, Angle was like, "Yeah, well, nobody can beat me because I'm an
Yeah.
Olympic gold medalist," right? And like Vince is like, "No, that's not how it works necessarily."
Right, yeah, he probably could have just about backed that up too,
Right?
like,
Yeah.
but that's not the way decisions are made.
Well, so did the Sheik ever kind of put it in your head where to kind of draw a line at certain points, like where it's just like, what was his kind of insight of like how to protect yourself and then how to do?
I've shared this so many times, but his advice was, nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about. Don't listen to anybody. And if you have a question, see me, call me. And then, when he wasn't around anymore, then, Sabu was always still around. And I would ask them things all the time about, man, they're telling me, I should loosen up. But then these guys, are telling me I should be more snug. And then, he's telling me even the handshake, like I got taught to shake a hand pretty hard and stiff like a man. And then all these guys in Ohio and Indiana are telling me like I'm breaking their hands, and then I should just two fingers, and then Sheik's like, fuck that. You grab their hand like a man. I was like, done. I know what I'm doing for the rest of my career.
Yeah.
So that was the answer. And because Sheik was so different and original, so am I. And so is Sabu, because we followed the Sheik's principles in that manner. I think that's a huge reason why we stand out.
Yeah. Oh man, the Sheik's the man. And like the thing is like I barely knew a lot about him before I started the show, like doing the show with you, and like I knew who he was and he was on my radar, but like to know that the kind of mentality and how he kind of handled the business and everything like that. I think he's such like a fascinating person in the history of wrestling, and it's just, you know,
Yep, for sure,
speaks to
for
it.
sure.
Absolutely. Guys, we are live. We have almost 1,300 people tuning in on RVD's Twitter, on RVD TV, and then on RVD's YouTube. So if you want to get a question in, you can feel free to just ask it. Maybe I'll see it, maybe. But if you do want to ask it, feel free to use the super chat. You got to go to rvdtv.com and use the super chat there, and we'll definitely answer your question that way. But Rob, I went on Only Wrestlers today to check out the page a little bit, and saw that you guys are growing pretty good. There was 7 pages of wrestlers on there.
Dude, yeah, and we are blowing up, and a lot of the other sites picked up and have done stories. I've got at least 4, maybe 5 screenshots that were either sent to me or I saw of wrestling websites putting it over, which is really good. And yeah, we've been blowing up. Like I thought we maybe had a record day yesterday, and then today, like every hour or two, my partner was like, look at it now, because our users are signing up. As a matter of fact, let me look at this image that's off of the back end of onlywrestlers.com. Bear with me here, because we have people, followers, fans signed up from, raise your hand if I call your country. Okay. All right. Australia, Egypt, United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Which one is it? Okay. Netherlands, Pakistan, Puerto Rico, which isn't that a United States? I don't know.
Like they call it. They have a term
Territory,
for it. Yeah,
right?
but it's territory. I think. Yeah.
But they got their own flag. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
and then okay, that one's United Kingdom again. We already mentioned that one. And then also, raise your hand if I name your country: Belgium, Germany, Italy, New Zealand, Philippines, Russia, Ukraine. Bear with me. Raise your hand if I say here, if I call your country. Okay. After I resize my screen for the 18th time, because it keeps shrinking when I try to scroll it. Okay. Brazil, India, Kuwait, Nigeria, Poland, my home country.
Hey, the Polish Prince.
Yeah. South Africa. And United States minor outlying islands. What the fuck is that?
What the fuck is that?
They got a different flag too. What the hell? Weird. Puerto Rico and this minor outlying islands both have flags that are similar to ours but colored different.
Interesting.
Anyway, that's a lot of different countries around the world. So super stoked to see it taken off and see everybody becoming part of it and just watching the snowball effect. It's like, boom. Dude, when we wake up in the morning, it's likely to be doubled the amount of people signing up now. And As I always, oh, and also wrestlers, are already doing content, selling pay-per-views, and it's up to the wrestlers if they want to extend free time because they are not ready to do content yet or want to build up their followers first or whatever. So it's really cool. Everyone's jumping aboard, I think, hanging on, and I'm really excited about getting the community center so that we can have a community chat where everybody can come together. And until we have that, I'm going to be like waiting patiently while still keeping tabs on it and still doing my daily content and whatever. But once we get the community chat and can bring everybody in that's in the association to a community to compare ideas, to meet each other, to everything, that's just going to be, I think, a game changer. Like, it's going to be one of the very important, what do you call it?
Tiers or?
Like it's a stepping
stone.
I want to say pivotal moment. I don't know. There's a word. There's a better
There's
word.
a term. I know what you're talking about. It's going to kill me, though. Milestones.
Yeah, we could use milestone. I'm trying to think of somewhere with a P, but milestone. Anyway, it's going to be a big line to cross when we got that community chat room, and then we'll be able to handle communication and everything. So we're still got a lot of other stuff too that this little, we got a list of stuff. So we're always every day talking with the programmer still, and while it's growing, boom, it's blowing up with everyone jumping on, and so we're pretty stoked.
Heck yeah. Yes, guys, check it out. Go to onlywrestlers.com. Lots of different talent are already on there.
We have
veterans.
Well over 80, I think, wrestlers.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm going to have to start making content on there, too. I'll do a little hotline kind of thing and stuff like that. You can check me out on there, too. I'll get some stuff cooking. But what else did I want to say? Oh, about the community center thing. Is that going to be like a message board kind of vibe, or how are you going to set that up? Do you guys have kind of a game plan for what you have planned for the community center aspect of the site?
I guess I don't know for sure what the format will be or what they're expecting compared to my expectations, but there's the Only Wrestlers account. Mm-hmm. There's also the Only Wrestlers Association account, and yes. Sometimes I get them mixed up because I was thinking a little different than my partner when he made those, but I think it'll be on there on the free account, so that it should be for the whole association. I'm not sure. I think he might see it the other way. Yeah, we're still learning about it. But anyway, on the free Only Wrestlers, I picture it being like a chat room, like a chat room where everybody can join, and I don't know if it'll be something where there's multiple different conversations going on at the same time, but I think it'll be something where we can do like live chats. Any of the talent, can jump on there and do a live chat, host it for a while, promote whatever. So something like that.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, almost like a Reddit vibe or something to that effect might be kind of nice, because it's like, do they ask me anything kind of stuff or whatever. There's a lot of different things you can kind of go with. Yeah. Man, we got a lot of people chiming in here. 1,500 folks tuning in. So, yeah, good stuff. Let me see. Oh, yes, Maddie had a joke I wanted to share. I screenshotted it just to be safe on it. Okay, Bill Rob. Do you know why hurricanes are always named after women? They come.
I do. I read this. He sent this to me on Only Wrestlers yesterday.
Oh, did he?
That
funny. One popped me. So.
Yeah, I like it. Appreciate the dry sense of humor. Another one. He said, have you heard about that movie Constipated?
No.
It hasn't come out yet.
Oh my God, Maddie, that's some fantastic stuff.
Yeah. I told Katie that, she said, stupid. And then we go That's the idea with this dry sense of humor.
Yes.
Stupider the funnier.
It is. I like it. Man, we got some good stuff in here. We got Jim Dawn in here, Greg Jacobson, Maddie, Shasta Valley Outdoorsman. Holy smokes. Raise your hand if whatever country you're from. Let us know. Here be the rabbit. Oh man, he called me the cute Polish twink again, is what I said. I didn't know what a twink was exactly, and then I figured somebody told me what it was, and I was like, oh, okay, well.
Please share. I have no idea.
Do you know what a twink? Okay, so a twink is like average built, younger looking gay man. Apparently, is what a twink is. So I'm a Polish one too now. So how about that?
What was the adjective? Good looking gay man? Is that what you said? Or what'd you say?
Cute.
Average
He
built.
said cute. But yeah, they say it's usually like a younger looking, I don't know if it's good looking or whatever. They just said younger looking, I guess is the term for it. But hey,
yeah,
I'll take it. I don't whatever.
Not only did I not know that or haven't noticed if I've heard that before, but also I'm pretty sure I'll never use that word.
Yeah.
I might later on. I might try and sound smart and ask Katie, "Hey, you know what a twink is?"
Yeah. I just think it's the Twinkie. That's what I was thinking.
Me too.
All
twinkle,
right.
Twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Dude, that's crazy. My buddy.
Trinidad Dice Clay. As soon as I started going through a couple syllables, I don't know what.
My buddy Jeff.
Twinkle, little star. Oh.
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 Hickory dickory dock.
Yeah. This chick was sucking my gut.
That's great.
What a moment he had.
Right?
Yeah. He was on top of shit. Top of the world, Madison Square Garden. Fuck yeah.
Damn. I remember being a kid and seeing like a movie of his at the video store, remembering how hot of an act he was and how I can't watch him because he uses all the curse words and stuff like that. And
he was dirty.
He was quite dirty, that Andrew Dice Clay. That Andrew Dice Clay. So we also had somebody. Oh, the early buzz in the chat was people been checking out the Chris Van Vliet interview with Karrion Kross, and people said how much they liked that interview, and then I think it was Maddie made the suggestion how cool it would be to see you go up against Karrion Kross and stuff like that. I like his look, his identity, everything like that. He's somebody that does a really great job at promoting himself too, like via social media, because he makes those videos by himself. He does a lot of the filmography stuff, and did stuff with Kevin Sullivan. Just really neat. I think you guys it would be a really good complimentary match, I think, with you guys. I think you guys tell a great story.
He's a really good dude from firsthand experience. And when I got to Impact, I'm not sure which time now. No, it would have been the second time, which was, like 2020 or something. But when I went to TNA, Impact, whatever they were called, Karrion Kross was there just for a second. He was there for the first few shows for a little while. And then I don't know if he left to go to WWE or what. I can't remember. But his girlfriend, Scarlett. Yeah.
Yep.
And Katie are really good friends. So that was kind of my introduction to him, was that, they love each other, they love hanging out. And so they were both at our wedding, and definitely get 2 thumbs up from RVD. Very cool people. I appreciate them.
Heck yeah. I think he's great.
And the hustle too. When I see somebody get told by everyone, man, they're going to push you to the moon. Look at you. You're doing great. And then I see that taken from them. And then I see them, figuring out what their next move is. And then I see them get another shot or whatever. When I follow wrestlers' paths like that, I tend to, not always, but I can earn a bit of respect for their hustle, because I've been there. I've been through there. I've been through getting tested so many different ways. And so to see them get tested and keep on going and not let it destroy them, and also not, and part of that, to protect yourself from getting destroyed, is not to let your head blow up too big while they're feeding you all this shit, telling you that you're the next big thing. You know what I mean? You gotta at least leave a little room for skepticism, I think. But that's just me. I don't have a wide range of emotions, so I can't imagine going through ups and downs on a worse level than I do. When I see other people do it, I just think, fuck, man, I don't think I could do that. So anything they told me, I just take it like, okay, that's says you. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah, says you.
Yeah.
Yeah, cautious optimism is a good way to handle all that stuff. And
Yep.
I think he does a great job. Like I see how he interacts with people on social media. He stays in character, but he leans into stuff. He doesn't shy away from anything, and like plays it up to storyline stuff. And I think that's really admirable to do. And like to you, he's consistent and he stays on top of it, no matter if he has any missteps or if he's in a certain storyline level, like a lower card or anything like that. He just keeps consistent, and I think that's such a key thing to do, especially to stay relevant. And yeah.
Yeah. And I saw part of that Van Vliet interview when, or maybe he was interviewing Jesse Ventura, and then he came on as a guest, which they must have done the same day, I'm guessing. But I saw that one where Jesse Ventura was on with Killer Karrion Kross, and he was imitating him and stuff. And,
Yeah. Oh my God, his imitation is spot
I
on.
like his hair too. He was bald when I met him. He was that character. And,
Yeah.
yeah, I just personally, I think his hair looks cool.
Yeah, I do too. It blew my mind when like his hair grew out, and I was like, "Whoa, he's got a full head of hair! Holy smokes!"
Right. You never imagine that. When you meet people bald, it's so hard to imagine what they would look like if they had hair.
Right?
They
Yeah.
picture from 10 years ago. You're like, what? That's you.
I'll have to send you a picture of me when I had hair. It's like it was very different.
It could be anything. I could see, like blonde and wavy, or I could see dark and curly. And
Yeah, you don't know.
it's like, how would I know?
Uh-huh.
It's probably not red because of your facial hair, but then,
Nope, not
you
red.
manscape that shit anyway.
I manscape it, baby. Promo code RVD, 20% off any product. Do it. Triple E chimes in. Did y'all catch RVD's interview with Rene Dupree? That was pretty good. Yeah, I saw that on there too, Rob.
Renee's on a long ass tour in Europe somewhere. I don't know if he's in England or what, but he was on tour when he interviewed me, and I was supposed to do the interview the week before and forgot or something, and then he was there then too. I don't know why, but he got rid of his host, or I shouldn't say he got rid of him. Let's just say he's not there anymore.
They parted ways.
And I don't know why, but James, right? And
yeah, I think that was his name. I think so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so, but that tells me like Renee's really committed to fucking doing this thing and moving forward with it and stuff. Besides the fact that he comments on everything, so I can tell he's committed. Way harder than I am. Like anytime any news comes out and there's something to comment on, there's certain wrestlers that are like, boom, jump on it, and that's great. And I'm always told I should do that, but it's not. It's not exactly. Not exactly where my head is at, and even when it comes to doing content and shit, it's like maybe if I was born 20 years earlier, like Katie, then maybe that'd be a lot easier. But it's like, oh my god, it's like we ought to make a movie. What?
What's going on?
Yeah. They got sounds on these things though. Talkies. Katie's sorry, baby. No, listen to thunderstorms upstairs anyway. The fuck was I gonna say? We were talking about
Renee.
Yeah, so he's on a long fucking tour because I texted him because he said, hey, I'll find some time and check out the Only Wrestlers thing, and just like I tell everyone, I'm like, dude, check it out, see if it's for you. If not, then cool. At least I know to not bother with it, but. I guess it's okay to say here, it's not for everybody, but for the wrestlers, I also follow up with, hey, if you're interested in doing it, if you want, I can have my partner make your profile and then send you the login info, and then you can set the price and make any changes or whatever. And I always, that's what I tell everybody because it's true. He does that and makes it so easy for people. They don't have to figure out how to do everything from scratch. And anyway, I think he said, you know what? I don't want to be misquoted. Who took my phone? I'm going to look this up real quick. But he's already been there for, I think at least 2 weeks, you know, maybe even more. I don't even know when he left. Dude, oh my God, let me see that. Can I just show you guys something?
Yeah, go for it. Here, let me put your full screen.
Half of my phone is upside down and half is right side up.
What the
What?
fuck? Oh my God, Rob, what happened?
I all my shit does that. I remember when I showed you my YouTube and I screenshotted it because it was like 2 different pages or something together. It was like they were talking.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
commenting that, oh, I know what it was. It was the information didn't go to that video. It went to one on a different page that I watched before. But anyway, you guys see this, right? Because I don't want y'all to,
Look at that shit.
say.
Oh, there it goes.
I don't want y'all
It
to.
adjusted.
Oh, it did. Okay. I
Yeah,
want
you're
y'all
back.
to say he's just high. So, but anyway, it'll be easy to find Renee because he uses Messenger. And, okay, I just talked to him about Dark Side. What? We didn't say nothing. But before that, there's so much going on, dude. Holy shit. Dude, where's the conversation? And then boom, boom, boom. You know what? Never mind. He's over there for a long time. Oh, I'm taking a break. Okay, he says he's not going to get to his computer stuff until he's done. He's got 6 weeks left.
Wow.
So that motherfucker took at least a 2-month tour over in England or Europe, which I think it's okay to call England Europe. It's on the continent, you know. Anyway, over there. But dude, I sometimes, man, I can't stand being away from home. It's just like my whole career makes me think that the ultimate goal is to spend as little time on the road and be back as soon as I can. That's why I used to take the very last possible flight, which did bite me in the ass when I would miss it. So I don't do that anymore because now I'm at a different pace than when I was really jamming full time, bam, 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 everywhere. And then, fuck, what was I lost my train of thought again. I'm having
Renee being on the 6-week. He's there for 6 weeks, and then you.
Oh yeah, what I was gonna say was, and besides that, I have an excuse for being forgetful that I'm not gonna share with you. But trust me, man, there's a reason. Okay,
there's a reason.
But anyway, so I sometimes if I have a late flight coming home, and say it's 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock flight at night, and then it gets delayed, and then this happened last time I was in Canada, but it happens all the time. Now I can't get fucking home because I gotta go through Dallas. I'm gonna miss my connection, but they want me to leave and fly to Dallas and then just stay there in a hotel and then fly home in the morning. Dude, I will come out of pocket and buy another flight and go home, and that's what I did when I was in Toronto earlier this year. And Katie always makes fun of me for it because I've also done that a few other times. But this one, it was like I'm going to be home a whole maybe like 7-8 hours earlier than I would. For me, it feels like worth it. I can't imagine being on the road for 2 months. Like I used to be able to imagine, you know, when I was really young and wanted out of my parents' house to go see the world on the road. But man, right now I would take some serious reprogramming in order to not completely freak out being on the road that long.
Yeah, you know, you were so accustomed to being on the road for that long, and now that you have the opportunities to not necessarily do that, it's like, yeah, if you like being home,
I can't shake it and find normalcy. I'm like stuck way in the other extreme now.
Yeah, it's tough. I bet. Well, when you get beaten down by all that stuff, like doing it for how many years, and then you get that reprieve of not having to do it, then like it's kind of hard to go back into that mode.
It's the travel. It's the travel, really. You know, like man, it doesn't always go even how you plan it, but usually, even when you have it planned, it's still a pretty stressful day to go through. You know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when things start going, you know, fucked left and right and shit gets delayed or God forbid if you're ever in a situation where they bump you off the flight and you're like, wait, no, I have a paid ticket. But when you've flown for as many years as I have, you've seen everything and been a part of everything. And it's just, now I don't travel that much. I should be able to just appreciate everything for what it is, but I can't meet it halfway even.
No, yeah.
Not yet. Maybe I'll learn to in my 80s.
Maybe at some point.
I don't know.
One point or another.
Yeah, they want me to come in the day before. I'm like, fuck. Are you? Why the fuck do I got to leave early in the daytime, the day before, spend the whole day, just to spend the night? Fuck that, dude. Like that's always just been my way of thinking.
It's so weird because like when I make a trip, say if I'm going to Vegas or I'm going Chicago or something like that, and I'm like, oh, I should get there a day early just so I'm not like stressed out. I arrive there and I got to rush around and worry about. So I'm like thinking about it the other way, where it's like I need a day almost to like kind of acclimate myself.
Dude,
yeah.
Man, I got two different things I want to say here. I don't know if I'll be able to remember this, but but one of them is there was a short period in my life when I felt like that, and it was like after the wife left, dog died, dad died actually during this time when I was in Chicago doing exactly what you're talking about. But I felt like I wasn't expected anywhere, just this one appearance, on Friday or whatever. So I would hang out for several days during that time. And I was, usually at the bar drinking, but also, let's see what comes my way, Hey, girls, interested? I don't care if you are or not, whatever, cool. Hey, what I mean? It was like nothing fucking mattered. And I did that, in Miami and in Chicago. There was several trips where I was just like, I'm just going to stay a few days for the fuck of it because I didn't want to be in my own home. But there was a short little time in 2016. And besides that, it's been the opposite, which is the other thing that I wanted to say, which is that was the WWE way. When I think about it right now, 2001, when I got to WWE for the first time, under contract with, they used to, for some reason, fly everybody in, and you had to show up at TV and then find out if you're working or not.
Wow.
What an expensive way to do business, right? But what the boys would do, and this, I remember my very first day there in Atlanta, and I remember Marcus Bagwell was one of them, and Scotty Tuhati, and I just remember like the guys that knew what was going on or whatever. They show up because we all got to be there at 12 or 1 or whatever, and they fucking go and they look on the list on the wall, and if their name isn't on the list, they're like, yeah, and they might ask the agent, and just, you're supposed to check with the agent. Sometimes they wouldn't, or I wouldn't if I was in this boat after I learned about it, but it was like, boom, find the earliest flight back home.
Yeah.
Earliest flight, like, it's Monday, 12 o'clock, you just got to work, and you're like, so 3 o'clock, see, can I make that flight? And boom, they'd be out of there that quick. And then, get their flight changed so that it would still get paid for or whatever. But everybody did that. That was the routine back then. And I guess that's, probably where I got that from.
Wow. How about that, man? Yeah, that's crazy. That's just crazy to think of all the flight complications and working out the logistics of that from the WWE side, and then from the wrestler side too. It's just like you're all dealing with that. It's just an ongoing thing.
Yeah, because I guess they didn't know until the last minute, and they would have that agents meeting Monday morning where they're all together at the arena, and then they would decide the show. And until then, they wanted everybody. I don't know why they wanted everybody to show up, really, but I think that there's something to be said about their desire to see loyalty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One time, and a lot of fans know this story, a lot of them think it's hilarious, and it is. I'm laughing right now thinking about it. But one time, and I used to ride by myself during this period, we had a show in a town called Tyler. We're wrestling in Tyler tonight, and we're flying into Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And man, the GPS in the car just came out. We all used that fucking what was it called? Something I want to call it Navigator.
Garmin.
Was it the Garmin that came with the cars, the rental cars?
Yeah, I think so. There was a Garmin.
There
that
was a
like you could
garment.
buy?
I'm thinking of something with an N. Like I'm thinking Netscape. No, it's not that. Navigator. Must have been something off of the Navigator work. But yeah, anyway, you were. I think it was a garment anyway, and I think that was the brand, and the other Navigator is probably just what they called it or whatever. But anyway, I get to Dallas, Texas because I flew in, and then I punch in Tyler on the Garmin Navigator, and two Tylers pop up.
What?
And the thing that really sucked is they were both 150 miles away.
What?
Tyler, Oklahoma, and Tyler, Texas. They were the same distance apart, and I fucked up.
You went to the wrong Tyler.
I went to the wrong one. We got all the way there, and knowing my habits, I was not early anyway, probably pushing it, getting to the show at the last minute. But when I get there, I'm in the middle of a cornfield. Yeah. And I called Dean Malenko because he was the agent. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And he's like, where are you? And I said, I'm in Tyler. And he goes, where? We're at the school or whatever, the building. We're at the Civic Center. And I said, no, there is no Civic Center. I'm in Tyler, Oklahoma or Tyler, Texas. I really don't even remember which one I went to and which was the right one. But of course, he thought it was funny as hell. And so did everybody, that could hear it in the background or whatever. But that motherfucker made me drive all the way. So now I got 300 miles. I got to drive all the way back across and go to the other Tyler. And I was like, bro, there's no fucking way I'm going to make the show. He goes, I don't know. You probably can just drive, just be safe, but do what you can. And I'm like, Dean, bro, like that's 300 miles, bro. Even if I go 75, I mean, that's like 4 hours away. The show's going to end. No, he goes, you'll be all right, man. The roads are pretty clear. Just, kind of make it. I was like, oh, motherfucker. And I drove there and all the way, and right when I pulled into where all the other cars were, and I got out of my car, everybody else was coming to their cars. They were all the boys were leaving, the show was over, and they all laughed at me. And when I think about that, I think it had something to do with, hey, I'm on the clock anyway. If he tells me I want you to drive 300 miles instead of hang out at a bar and drink or whatever the fuck one of the boys might be doing, then I guess that made sense, because hey, I got to get with them anyway. Also, I think I had to prove I was there because I could have been anywhere calling and saying, hey, Dean, I'm in Tyler, Oklahoma, even though I was really in fucking Battle Creek, Michigan, with the Serial City prostitutes,
The Serial City prostitutes.
By the way, no, but I'm gonna look something up, I think. Yeah. But you get my point, though. But I don't know. Why do you think Dean made me go 300 miles knowing that I wasn't going to make that show? Why would you do that if you're the agent, you're the boss of the night?
Maybe because you're like such a big name that they would want you there, and then like that maybe the expectation, the onus would fall on Dean or something. I don't know the layout of that. Maybe that's the only thing I could maybe think is like, no, we need RVD here. He should be here because he's one of the biggest stars, and we got to have him here or something.
So you're thinking maybe I really could make it. I'm pretty sure he knew I wouldn't.
Say that again.
Changes that. No, so you're
maybe not. Yeah,
you're right. So in order for that to be right, it would have to be that he actually thought I would possibly make the show. But I must have been going 100 miles an hour. I drove like an idiot back then anyway. Like I always talk about that. When I got busted for the weed in New Jersey, I didn't even fucking ever bother looking at the speed. I always just made as best time as I could when I was on the road. Once in a while, I'd get a speeding ticket or get pulled over and let go. But I was not a careful driver, like
no.
Yeah, not till like after everything happened with the bust and stuff, and I kind of grew up, and actually, I might be the only the only person that rides with me that will back up what I just said about me being a careful driver. But in my opinion,
You said Sabu's pretty a wild driver too, though, right? Isn't Sabu a wild driver?
yeah, dude. He used to, when he had the Winnebago, he would drive that, and that takes special skills, which he didn't have. And man, he would I can't imagine how many fender benders / hit and runs we had. Can't imagine.
Holy shit! Yeah.
One night that really sticks out in my head was when we just left the Elks Lodge, and we're in Queens, where those little roads are so tight between the buildings and the neighborhoods, and he's rolling through there in the Winnebago and making a turn on a right angle where cars are parked all along there, and there's no way you could do that in one turn. It'd have to be a 4-point turn at best. It was so tight. But anyway, I'm like, Sabu, no, you ripped the whole bumper off the car and then just kept going, some guy had to
what the fuck?
And he was going to
get
a massage at those stinky places in Queens.
From the Cereal City prostitutes.
I keep prostitutes and massage. There's a reason. Because I'm thinking about this. I just wanted to talk about this. So I told you that a lot of the websites, wrestling sites, have picked up only wrestlers. So it's huge. Thank you, WrestleMania. They put in a good word. And
Fightful. I saw Fightful wrote about it. I saw WrestlingNews.co wrote about it, I think, too.
So the first ones that I saw was yesterday, this Wrestling News. And what's funny is they chose to put this picture in.
I saw that. Yeah.
Right. And so it puts in your mind like something specific, right?
Yeah.
And then just says Rob and Katie launched Only Wrestlers website. But I just wanted to point out one thing, okay? One of the comments from Mr. Ruben Castillo says this after finding out that I have only wrestlers now with Katie. He lost my respect. He was a legend wrestler. And so I just want to say to Ruben Castillo, if I lost your respect because of something that I do, I swear, I smoke weed, I'm too honest, whatever, that's cool. We don't belong together. I'm sorry to lose you, but it was necessary, bro. But if you wrote that because your dirty mind thought that Wrestlers Only was going to be a sexual site, what kind of dipshit are you? What a dumbass you must feel like now when you see everybody joining. It is not sexual at all. Ruben Castillo, you fuck. That's all. Okay, back to a regular scheduled program.
Yeah, that's not what Only Wrestlers is. But I would like Cereal City prostitutes had to have a profile on there at least. I want like Count Chocula. I want fucking Tony the Tigress.
I was gonna go with the Tony Tiger kind of prostitute thing, and I couldn't think of another T. But then I didn't even have another C when I went with prostitutes, but I didn't have time,
Yeah.
Otherwise, I might have said Cereal City sluts.
Oh man, that's a good one.
A little more time, I can come up with a better poem for you.
Mm-hmm. Toucan Samantha. You get the fucking Tony the Tigress, Captain Captain Munch. I don't know. Yeah, there's some options. Crunchberries, yeah, there you go. We got it. Somebody said they wanted Cocoa Pebbles one. I guess. Oh well, we could. Man, I love that. I love cereal too. So what a double whammy that would be.
The strip club that I used to go to was the first one that I ever went to when I was 17 years old. It's Deja Vu in Kalamazoo, and I just recently. I don't even know why, but somehow they came across because a friend of ours was working there, Octobooty. And anyway, I started following them, and now when they post, man, they have the most smoking girls. Like every night, I'm looking through. Whoa, I want to go back to Deja Vu when I'm back in, and then especially it surprises me because I also follow a strip club in Battle Creek, and they post their girls.
Not as good,
I'll
or
just leave it at that.
uh-oh.
They got so maybe it's a more rougher biker kind of feel. I don't know, but definitely set me up to be really surprised that it's not the whole area of the country. It's just Battle Creek, and that's how it always was. You could always leave Battle Creek for something better, like to shop. We always had to go to Kalamazoo because we didn't have any malls. We didn't even have that many big department stores to choose from, and fucking boom, 20 minutes away was Kalamazoo. And that's, we grew up in the city outside of the bigger cities. So I guess that makes sense. But anyway, if you follow, there's not too many strip clubs in Battle Creek. I don't know how many, maybe one or two, but anyway, appreciate them. They were there at the Kellogg Center when I was in Battle Creek, and I'm just saying, you girls, man. Yeah. That's all.
Let's get Ruben Castillo. Why don't you go look up the Battle?
Dude, I lost Ruben's respect, bro.
You did. You lost it
because of this platform.
You know what? How are you going to carry on the site? How are you going to do anything now, Rob?
I don't know. I'll reinvent myself.
I guess so.
Like
go to the way.
Every 2 years. Look at the different looks. Jericho's got.
Yeah. Do that kind of thing. How about it too? He's in like the #1 grossing movie in the country right now with that terrifying.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I
didn't know that. I mean, I knew he was in a movie and his face all covered in blood. I just thought it was like a B movie, horror movie or something, and I didn't know anything about it. I thought, oh, cool, but extra cool.
Yeah, isn't it? And like the budget for that film, I think was like $2 million, and it's grossed like at this moment, maybe I'm guessing, I think it's like $28 million,
wow,
and it's #1 at the box office.
That's so fucking awesome. That's so awesome.
Isn't that cool shit?
Something else he can win at.
That's
it. He really needs another W.
Jeez, Chris, come on. Well,
Mr. Fozzie, Mr. VH1,
Mr. Fozzie stuff.
Mr. AEW. Yep, he's always doing on VH1. When they do the
they do like the
commentary.
Yeah, the commentary stuff. Yeah. That's what it is. Man, that was
Dark Side of the Ring.
Mm-hmm. Narrator
narrates that.
That's right.
Jericho is culture.
He is. He's pop culture, man. He's pop culture for sure. Here's an interesting thing. I wanted to get your perspective. Mercedes Moné, she does a blog, like kind of like a newsletter blog kind of thing, and she does it once a week. Apparently, one of the big takeaways that the Dirt Sheets wrote about was she made the comparison about what's a superstar versus a wrestler. And so this is what she said, Rob, and I'll get your perspective. Okay. Being a superstar is a combination of having the looks, the presentation, and a connection with the fans and the audience. A superstar is somebody that people go, wow, they're just so captivating. And she uses Goldberg. She says Goldberg is one great example of many. And then she says, now a wrestler, on the other hand, is someone who just puts on the grind and executes moves. They have all the fundamentals down and can do the flips and the dips. Wrestlers have great matches too, but to be a superstar is really on a whole different level. So when you kind of think about that, is there anything else that you would add to the superstar quality of the aspect of things that come to mind? Or do you think she's pretty spot on with that? Or do you disagree with her?
I think it's subjective. Mm-hmm. I think that maybe that's what those words mean to her, because all they are is two words, right? When I was in WWE from 2001 to 2007, everybody knows that, man, I don't know why I'm screaming. I'm going to try and not talk as loud. I'm going to make an effort, even though I went 2 hours into tonight's show before I calm myself down a little bit. When I was in WWE, Vince had long ago decided that we were sports entertainment, right?
Mm-hmm.
We weren't allowed to call ourselves wrestlers. Guess what we called ourselves?
Wrestlers.
Want
Superstars.
to take another guess?
Superstars.
Yes, everybody in 2001, 2002, through at least most of, if that ever changed, then I don't even know when the fuck it was. But when I was there, we were all to call ourselves superstars. If we did a promo and said, "Hey, that's right, one of your favorite wrestlers is coming to your town," they go, "Cut, cut, one of your favorite superstars." Oh, okay. And that was the rule. If maybe that's changed, but again, all it is a word, and words mean different things to different people. Obviously, a dictionary is not going to back up what she said, or even what you or I would say, because they wouldn't be as specific. But on what she said, if a superstar is somebody that she said the fans look at and say, "Oh, wow, that's something special." I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember the exact quote.
Mm-hmm.
But if we go by that alone, is everyone on the roster a superstar? I don't think so. I don't think the crowd can say that to 100% of them, right? But
yeah, no.
If they're on TV every week and people know who they are, and they got action figures and they got merchandise and they're part of the show, are they superstars? In my opinion, yes. So I would thereby be in contrast to what the lovely Mercedes Benz just said.
Yeah, no, it's very true too, because there's a lot of the identity and the brand, and I think now how it gets positioned is people say wrestling all the time now in WWE, like it is part of it, but I've seen there's still a concerted effort to get the message across that these are WWE superstars too. So there's a balance in between. It's not like it's hey, we're gonna cut your hand off if you say wrestler now. It's more like, hey, if you say it, you're A-okay. It is wrestling, but we're also WWE superstars at the same time.
The rules and policies always change, and it has to. They're always evolving and adapting as the times change. And oh my God, how many times have I said in the last week that the world changes so fucking much and so fast? Like we were talking about the future, and I was saying even like what I do, if I'm working 10 years from now, whatever I do I could be involved in something that's not even here right now, something we couldn't even dream of, and that's
right.
And that's how it is. I go back to 2001 when we picked up our first cell phones. They weren't very smart back then and had the fucking cord and it was.
Yep.
Anyway, the flip up, but we could never have imagined, that take a picture, send it to Japan, he'll get it instantly. Like what? You couldn't imagine that before it happened. But anyway, I did say Mercedes-Benz on purpose. I guess last week when we were talking about music, I think it was, I guess it had to be our podcast, but I was talking about music, I guess. Yeah, and how
we were
play it backwards and it would be the devil. I saw in the comments someone
laughed. And it would freak you out.
Someone in the comments laughed because they said that I said that the song was Another One Rides the Bus when I was talking about Another One Bites the Dust. And I didn't notice that I said that. I noticed I said that. I thought it was funny because that was Weird Al Yankovic's version. Another One Rides.
That's right.
I listened to that a lot more than the original one. And so if I believe that I said that, even though I didn't go back and check, but I don't need him commenting now. You said Mercedes-Benz because that went right over your head, but not that dude's.
It did.
He's already in the comments, or he's in the chat room. What up, dude?
Is he in the chat room already saying it? Wow.
That's my thoughts, though.
Yeah,
dude.
I didn't.
I mean, a wrestler, a superstar. I was taught that we're all superstars, and that was everyone on the card. So
that's it. Heard it straight from RVD, guys. Let's take some comments here.
Because it was a label. That's what it was. Our label was not wrestlers. we're sports entertainers, and you refer to yourselves as superstars, and we did, So, but is she saying that the difference between just your average wrestler and somebody that's really gonna um, really have a good career and really do great in this business, if she's saying that and superstar is just the label that she's using, then she's right. The people that connect with the crowd the most and that are the most skillful, that's still a factor, thank God. And marketable. Some guys can have almost everything, or girls, but just not be marketable. And even in WWE, sometimes they over the years they would, with someone like that, they might even try a few different things. Well, okay, let's repackage it. Let's try this. Let's try that. That's not working either. Well, all right, man. You know what to do.
Right, like yeah, you see some people go through like major changes and stuff. Somebody that I think like that really benefited from a big change too, and like he was always legitimate and a badass and stuff like that when it came to certain things, was like Bradshaw. He was part of the APA and had that like, hey, beer drinking, poker playing, hey, mercenary, hire us for money kind of thing. And then he turns into JBL, like this like Dallas kind of like back in the day kind of identity where it's just like this rich wild Texan kind of thing, and it's
Yeah.
completely different. And so but yeah,
But are you
to
saying that
find
Ron
that right
Simmons?
lane.
Are you saying that Ron Simmons wasn't a superstar?
Oh, not at all. Ron Simmons is definitely a superstar,
Exactly.
big time.
To my point, I'm just saying, they all
Yeah.
are. If
And I always thought Farouk, Ron Simmons, I always thought he was underutilized because I was like, I loved him as the leader of the nation. And then when he did the APA stuff, I was like, dude, I want to see more from freaking Farouk. So yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
awesome dude too, and I like it when he says, "Damn,"
Damn.
when I say Rob Van. You don't know what I'm doing?
I knew what you were doing. I was waiting for you to pop back up and say damn.
Oh, but you've seen the video, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. And he popped in. He was like,
Yeah,
damn. That's
we
right.
get it. Yeah, yeah. I just thought that you would get that. I go,
I,
Rob Van, and then I
yeah.
sit down, and he goes,
Damn.
yeah, we did it once. I don't even know, 20 years ago, and then we did it a couple years ago with when Lex Luger was in that one.
Yeah.
So actually, two of that same scripted wrestling. But because of what we're saying here and what Miss Mercedes said, just as far as this conversation goes, and we're talking about that there is a difference between just the average wrestler and someone that's a standout. And how are you going to unionize that? How are you going to try and make all their pay be on some kind of scale? And how are you even going to compare the marketability from one to the other? And even when it comes to that, even if you would say, well, put out the same amount of merchandise and then you'll know who sells more, they don't even do that or give that chance, because what's better, to test this or to go with bring all this merch that's going to take all the room that we already know is going to sell. It's got a proven record besides our agenda too. But so, boom, we need all these DX shirts. So, we don't have room to, to be like seeing if your shirts are going to sell or not.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's something else that's out of your control. That's like what I was talking about earlier. That's why one of the many reasons that it's a very, it's a very different, probably unique job and profession to have, and it's like people like to try to imagine that what it would be like, or that they can think like what it would be like, but you got so many games in your head, and you got to make choices on the right things to do with all of that. And a lot of us like to ask people that we trust, that whether they're been in the business longer than us or they're friends or whatever, so that's something that we rely on, and thereby I do see the brotherhood for sure.
Absolutely, and that's the thing, and we talked about that earlier in the show too, with like the Sheik. You relying on the
Yeah.
Sheik and kind of having his input on how to handle things and certain things like that. But it's like when you think about the superstar aspect, it's just like, yeah, how much you think about the merchandise that gets sold. You think about how to market yourself. You also, you know, the connection that you have with the fans, and all that really comes into play. And when you're thinking about, and wrestling is such a unique landscape of it all, because like you're also a persona, but you're you yourself too, to an elevated level. Whereas you look at organized sports, where it comes to like NFL or baseball, what really matters is what you do on the field or on the court or on the diamond. Whereas wrestlers, there's more aspects to it all. There's the marketing and the identity aspect, and sure that comes into. Mm-hmm.
And even with that, there's politics, which is a big factor in the
Mm-hmm.
machine as well. And what if you're doing a big return, say 2013, and you go to Africa, and then they don't have any of your shirts that was part of the deal that was supposed to be there? You can't sell any if you don't have any, right? So that's literally money that was supposed to be yours that's not there for you. If that situation had happened to me, I wouldn't mind going to like the agent, say if it was Arn Anderson, just out of respect, saying, Arn, is this fucked up or not? But I think I would know it's fucked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, but as far as not even just besides just the Sheik, I can imagine going to someone like Arn. I don't know if I have for advice. I would need advice in that hypothetical situation. But I don't know. I respect all the guys that were there before me. You know what I mean? It's hard thinking of examples, but if I'm in the dressing room, obviously someone like Dory or Greg Valentine, the guy, he wrestled Killer Kowalski. He passed away a couple of years ago, and he's from Pennsylvania, and he trained Shane Douglas, and he
Oh,
came to
Dominic
Australia.
DeNucci.
Yes, thank you. Dominic
Dominic
DeNucci was
DeNucci.
on a
Yep.
tour that I was on in Australia, right? And this
Yeah.
was 2000. I don't know, like not that long ago, but probably 5 years ago. Katie was on it with me. Sabu, Jeannie, Tajiri, maybe Dominic DeNucci and Shane Douglas. But anyway, I had a
Yeah.
match out there with the guy that was somebody that they were proud of. He was a local there, and he did hardcore stuff or whatever, and so anyway, during the match, I did my comeback that I do a lot of times when I'm showing off, like after I turn it around and had him bumping, I ended up doing the skateboard kick, putting a chair on him, doing the Rolling Thunder, boom. Before that, I might have hit him with something, put it on and go for the splash. Anyway, afterwards, Dominic DeNucci was like, I watched your match. I don't know if that's what he sounded like, but is he from New Zealand?
No, I think he's from Italy. I think he's from the
Okay.
boot.
So yeah, that was him then. Anyway, I was like, yeah, I am. And he goes, I just had a thought. He said, you did, all your moves are beautiful. He said, but why so much? I mean, okay, you hit him, you kick him with the chair, and bam, and he's down, right? The why another and another and another, and I was like, and I thought about it, and I go, you're right. I totally see your point. You're right. I'm showing off out there. Yeah, but why so much? And I was so touched that he would give me advice, because this wasn't, like I said, not that long ago. So it doesn't happen too often. Actually, it doesn't happen too often that I see wrestlers that are older than me or superstars anymore. Anyway, he would not believe me. He was like, you don't care what I have to say. And no, I really appreciate that. He was like, forget about it. And I I was legitimately crushed because I wanted him to know that I respected him that much, and I don't think that he felt it. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully he did. But I don't think that he did, because it's like, you don't care what I have. This, what do I know? And I was just totally feeling the opposite. Like, no, thank you. And I had, I don't remember what all I did out there, but it was too much. It was a monkey flip him on the chair, boom. He gets up, I hold him back on the chair, boom. He's in the corner, crush him, boom. And it was all just, putting in time and doing the thumbs. And my character does that a bit, but when you think about the storytelling of it and whatever else the conversation consisted of, though, I saw his point of view and I really appreciated it. So that's another example of just the respect that we have. And I don't even know why we were talking about that, but we're talking about the ones above us.
That's it. Well, Rob, I think that's. I mean, Dominic DeNucci's he's such a Pittsburgh staple, or was such a Pittsburgh staple, because like he trained Shane Douglas, he trained Mick Foley, he trained the late Mark Curtis, but he was always around. Like I would see him at independent shows here, and like he would be just watching. I remember watching him at like the Spirit Lounge, which is in Lawrenceville, down in my neck of the woods. And I remember seeing him watch a match. It's just two independent wrestlers, and he's like peeking through the curtain, like watching. And it's just like he really loved the business. And then I think it's just so cool because like he probably didn't get that kind of reaffirmation for a very long time from a veteran and a legend like you, where it's just like he didn't get that, like, I appreciate the advice. He's probably, and I'm sure he really appreciated it. He didn't probably think of it in that regard, and maybe he was dismissive at first because he wasn't used to hearing that in a long time. So
hopefully it sunk. Really hopefully
cool. Admirable of you to do.
I hope it sunk in eventually, because I would just like him to know that I respected him that much.
Absolutely. Yeah, he was a big star, though, in Australia, if I remember. I know he...
But was he a superstar?
Oh, absolutely. Was he?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely he was.
Absolutely he was, yeah. So I know he won the tag team titles, I think, for WAF way back in the day. But I think he was a big tag wrestler in Australia. But I know he was a big star in Australia.
I know he wrestled the Sheik. I asked him about it, and I don't remember a lot of the details, but, we talked about it. And Killer Kowalski, Burt Ruby, guy that trained Kowalski and the Sheik.
How about that? Wow. Man. I'm going to have to try to Google some Dominic DeNucci matches. I know he wrestled for a long time. Like, he wrestled, I think, up in his 80s. I think he suited up the one time, too, even. So, R.I.P. He lived to, I think, to be about 90-something. So, but yeah, great stuff. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to touch upon before we end it today. But somebody did chime in. They said, "Here be the rabbits. Arn Anderson might be my most favorite wrestler ever. Either him or William Regal. When I'm wasted, those are my go-to matches." So, watching the Arn matches for you. So, how about that?
Wow, I just that let me go with this one.
Okay.
Because a bunch hit my mind, and I like sharing stories. And that comment made me think of a time in 1903. No, this was 92. It was either 92 or the beginning of 93 during my little WCW 5-month run from December to May. And we were in Indianapolis. Ooh, by the way, I will be in Indianapolis at WrestleCon. That just happened. Let me update you on that. I got to update my site and stuff. And that is January 31st, February 1st, those days. So I'm going to be there. Did you know that? They're going to do a WrestleCon Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble weekend. I think they started. Yo, that's awesome. Hell yeah.
All right. So we're in Indianapolis after wrestling show that we had. We're at a place, a country bar. And this country bar in Indianapolis, I'm screaming again. I'm going to learn how to not do that and watch.
You're not too bad, Rob. You're not too bad, though.
That's what they tell me every time I criticize myself. All right. Anyway, this country bar used to be a bowling alley. So it's fucking huge. I can't remember how many lanes it had. If anybody was in Indianapolis at this time and lived there or whatever, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Huge bowling alley building. I'm Oh yeah, they don't have lanes anymore. It's a country bar. I was trying to think, like, what? I had to put myself back in there and remember, because I was just thinking of this place, and they had a Taco Bell inside of this country bar because it was so big, and the dance floor was big and fenced off in the middle, you know, with like the wooden country gimmick. And anyway, here I am drinking this beer, trying to act like I fit in. 20, I just turned 21. Holy fuck. That's true. 22. This is 92 to 93. So yeah, I guess 22, just turned 22 like days ago. And anyway, I'm awkward, uncomfortable, green as fuck. And I don't belong with the group that I'm standing with, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm trying to drink a beer and trying to look cool. And in front of me is Chris Benoit, Arn Anderson, William Regal. And they're standing there looking cool, drinking a beer. And I'm trying to like fit in with them. And Chris Benoit says, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And I was like, "Oh, what?" He goes, why the fuck don't you take that girl? Why didn't you take that girl and get the fuck out of here? And I was like, "Oh, I'm not in a hurry. I'm just drinking my beer." "Are you fucking crazy? Look at that fucking girl." And he's referring to a girl that I was just talking to, which was smoking. She had like a black, like leather skirt kind of thing. She obviously must have been a stripper. But anyway, she came on to me really hard when we walked in there, and everyone saw that. And after talking to her, I don't know why we separated. Maybe she went to get her friend or go to the bathroom. I don't know. But this is time for me to, you know, try to drown my awkwardness. And then Arn and William are like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing?" And Chris is like, "If that was me, I'd be out there fucking her in the car." And I was like, "Whoa!" Like they totally like, "Get the fuck out of here." And man, I just and I did. You know, I waited for her, and then she left. We left, and went back to her place with her. No, it wasn't her. There was I don't know, her uncle or something was driving. It was weird. It was weird because I remember the next morning when he was giving me a ride, because there was another girl too, and he was like, did y'all have a sorry kids? Yeah, I like this list. I just when he's driving, he's like, did y'all have a threesome? And I was like, no. And then looking back at it, like, oh my God, the other girl was begging to come in, but I didn't like her anyway. But and anyway, he was like, oh, well, that's weird. He's like, usually the boys like that. And I just remember him saying that, you know, I can't remember what wrestlers they knew. They're from Indianapolis, and that's what I think of. And there's Arn and like I said, Steve Williams, who I rode with during that time. Believe it or not, me and Steve Williams were car riding partners for some reason. I probably came there with him, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dr. Death?
No. I'm sorry.
Regal?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
William Regal,
Steve Regal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I didn't know which one to call him. Yeah, he's definitely not Steve Williams. Sorry. Which is also Stunning Steve Austin.
That's
right?
That's the other one I was thinking.
But I didn't know which one to call him when I saw him recently. And he's one of those guys, like, I don't want to offend. You know what I mean? Like he's like so serious. Or if he's not, then he's, you know, maybe he'll joke a little bit. But you know, he's one of those guys where you say something and he's like, yeah, he just says, what? You know, like maybe he didn't hear you. It's like, whoa, did I just offend him? He's got that aura about him. But anyway, when I was at SmackDown, I saw him, you know, and you know, I turned, hey, what's going on? Well, Steve. And he goes, what? And I said, Good to see you, Steve. And he walked away, and I'm like, oh my God, he probably thinks like I didn't know who he was or something. I knew who he was. It's just that William popped in my head, and I don't, I always call you Steve, but I don't know if I should do that.
Yeah. I know, like it's like I remember too. I used to work with him on his podcast when he had it. I did the social media stuff, and I remember him like he introduced himself by his real name, and so I would just okay, I guess I'm referring to him as that, moving forward. So I was like, because I know by all these other names, and here's I'm calling him his real name. So
Lots of respect for Steve, and also I have to. I got admit I'm thankful that the boys kicked me out and told me to go with her. I might have been an idiot and drank 4 more beers, and who knows what would have happened after that. You know what I mean? Like, it was a good night, and it was because of them. Let me put it that way.
how about that? The 4 wingmen. It was you, Chris,
Yeah.
Arn, and William.
I so did not. That song, I'm a creep, I'm a loser, I don't belong here.
Right, yeah.
Which, have you seen that YouTube? No, you haven't. I don't want to bring it up. It's that song. I saw a YouTube video that had that song on it like 2 weeks ago. It's about someone that we know. So if you know, you know. I'm not gonna throw any dirt on him, but that song afterwards stayed in my head for like 2 weeks, and just and it was one of those songs where it's like, wait, I've heard that song my whole life, but I've never heard the words because I'm not musically inclined. And then I'm like, oh, that's what they're saying, because I think they might even have the words written, texted or something, and I was like, that's what they're saying. And when I heard them singing it with the words, that song stayed in my fucking head. You know what song I'm talking about?
I do. Yeah, it's Radiohead. I know the song, but
okay.
I don't.
I'm glad
I'm
glad you don't know the video, because I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, good, because I don't. It's completely over my head. So.
Go.
I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. So
it was made about
it's
made about an individual. You know what I'm saying?
A certain individual. Okay. I'll have to Google.
I'm not saying think about it, but I'm just saying that's why I don't want to go there. But if you know, it's someone that's around that some people have an issue with because of something that was exposed, and a lot of people wonder, like, we even talked about him last week when I was saying, hey, like, I'll take his money too. That's the way we look at it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
anywho,
see you, let me know. Leave me a comment below. What else rhymes with? Do you know? Hey, did I rhyme no and no? I can't do that.
Yeah, you can't. But 2 different kind of no's.
Sometimes rappers do.
They do. Yeah, I've heard that
in both lines. I notice.
I've noticed. You got to keep an ear out for that kind of
stuff. If I hear the words, yeah.
Another one rides the bus.
Talkies. Yeah, that's awesome when I read that. I loved Weird Al Yankovic. Of course, I said that.
He's great. Yeah. I would love to see him in concert. I loved his movie too, UHF. Have you ever seen the movie UHF?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
I'm doing a podcast tomorrow. Is that going to be? It's probably not going to be live, but the one that Paul Roma does. Do you know if you watch that with Emir? The guy's name is Emir. He does like St. Jude's Hospital kind of stuff. And anyway, Rico Constantino is going to be on it, and myself as well in the morning. And
how about that?
Yeah.
Did you see Rico came back? He was in AEW?
Yeah, well, we talked about that a little bit, and we'll talk about it more. I just saw the promos there. Did he oh no, he got in the ring, right?
He did. Him and Billy Gunn tussled it up.
I'll watch it since you reminded me, before I do the thing in the morning.
I love Rico, man. Did you know? You probably know this. He was on American Gladiators.
Yeah. Lots of respect for Rico.
That's fucking sweet, man. I popped big time when I saw that.
Yeah, and he wasn't just on it; he crushed it.
He was great at it. Man, it blew my mind because I was like watching WWE, and then I remember being on USA Network watching it. I was like, "Wait, is that Rico? The fucking Rico Constantino?" It sure it was.
Yeah, he lives here, not too far from me, and so I see him sometimes. Always had a lot of respect for Rico.
He looks great too. He looks great. He was a cop, wasn't he? A cop before it?
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Sure was.
How about that?
He used to. I shouldn't use the word entertain, but he used to have us boys really compelled when he was sharing some of his stories. One of the guys was a Spike. It seems like it was Spike. Sorry, Spike, if it wasn't you, and I'm throwing you under the bus. But someone, were him and Rico close? Anyway, someone, maybe Spike, said, did you ever have to kill anybody on duty? And like he went, like he got, white, and everybody was just like, like after that, he didn't even answer, but you could just tell like he was really affected by the question, and he eventually, everyone was always like, hey, tell that story. And he didn't like that because he didn't feel good about that story, but it was just so enthralling for us dipshits that we would pull that out of him sometimes.
Right.
But he can write a book. He can write a book with his adventures. I hope he does.
I bet, dude. I bet. I hope he does too. It's like, yeah, man. I've always loved Rico. I thought he was great. So
yeah.
Cool, Rob. Well, this has been
I got stand up in 2 nights at the wherever that poster is. That's here in Vegas on the 19th. It's a Halloween theme. I don't know if I'm going to dress up or not. I normally don't ever, but last year I let Katie put a football jersey on me. That's just, so I didn't really even feel like I was like I had a costume on. I just felt like whatever. But I don't know. It's like for me at this point, it's like the opposite of being a nonconformist for me, because then it's like I'm going to try to do whatever I can to fit in with everybody, which is kind of in contrast to what my normal perspective, resentment-based perspective is that normally, that's, I don't want to try to be like everybody else and fit in. So anyway, I feel like by participating that I am lowering myself to in certain ways to meet average people where I don't belong. And then after that, I follow up with thinking, aren't you a narcissistic motherfucker? What, you're a genius, right? You're so smart. And then I don't like myself. And then I go through and then light up another TV. And, it's somewhere, I don't even know. You were looking up a poster because it's on Rainbow Boulevard, I believe. And somewhere
Rainbow Boulevard, Suite 103, Las Vegas, the meeting space.
So wherever that is, and that's Saturday. So I'll put some thought to that tomorrow, I guess. And then, then I'm good stuff going on next week too. I guess nothing really that I should be talking about. Exciting stuff.
Ooh, you guys gotta stay tuned. Keep your eyes peeled. Keep your ears open.
Yeah, you'll
see
it.
Only Wrestlers. Huh?
You'll see it eventually when they announce the season.
That's it. OnlyWrestlers.com. Be sure to sign up for free. You can subscribe to Rob for free. You can subscribe to Katie for free. You can also sign up for the Only Wrestlers for free. I'm going to be free on there too for a little bit just to get it.
And you can also, I just found this out today, so I'm a little confused about it, but you can sign up without subscribing to anybody, and then you're just a user. And I'm confused because I guess at that point you can see maybe thumbnails, but that can't open anything. But I'm not really sure. I think I might open up a user account just to find out, because we always say, subscribe to me or Katie, we're free, or the OW. But I guess you don't even have to do that if you just want to use whatever using is, But
you can do that.
Using is bad.
It's true that if you use it, if you don't use it, you lose it. Guys, we are sponsored. I always forget to plug the sponsors. We're sponsored by Get Blitzed. You can go to get-blitz.com. It's Get Blitzed Lit Aid, nano-infused THC syrup, 100% legal in all 50 states. So many different flavors. I got the blue raspberry up in my cabinet. It's Delta 9. Use promo code RVD. You get 15% off. It's by Mickey Ray Sinatra and Courtney in Maryland. So if you're in Maryland, you can check out the Get Lit shop down there. But go to get-blitz.com. Get 15% off when you use promo code RVD. It's very effective stuff. I can speak for that. And also, Blue Chew. Boom. Use promo code RVD. Go to bluechew.com, and you can get your first trial free. Only pay $5 shipping. Promo code RVD. Bluechew.com. And Manscaped, as Rob said too. We also have Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com. You can get the lawnmower 2.0, I think it is. No, maybe it's more than that now. But either way, you can use the promo code RVD.
Greek Glass doesn't have a place up here in the.
Oh, we got to. Well, I'll throw something up there for Greek Glass too on there. But you can go to Greek Glass or go to RVD420.com. Check out some of these. This is some of the original ones here. Got RVD right there, RVD right here, and RVD the Tiger one, which is my favorite. And you can check those out. Go to RVD420.com or go to GreekGlass.com and hit that tab for RVD. And there's plenty of the new awesome glass on that site, so check that out. Finally, check out the T-shirts on One True Sport. We got RVD, the original ECW one that way back in the day. We got the 420 one there, and we got the Rob Van Dam with the Dragon, Mr. Monday Night 420. So scan that QR code. There's other merch up on there for Rob too, so check them out. And we'll get some hoodies and some hats cooking for Rob.
Yeah, I see the message. Oh, it's only on my laptop, not yours.
Oh.
I got the message that Dan Severin management team wants me to get a hold of him about only wrestlers. So,
and the Beast.
You betcha, I sure will. A former or a fellow Michigander. Yeah.
Oh, is he? I didn't know he was from Michigan.
You didn't know that? Yes, sir.
I did not know that. No.
Coldwater, Michigan.
Dude, yep. I love Dan the Beast. He was one of my favorites in the Attitude Era because he had a sweaty T-shirt on and he choked out D'Lo Brown. He was and I loved his music. He was just a badass. So
yeah, he's making. He's out on the streets. You know, I see him at conventions and stuff. After now that memory from 1993 has been in my head for a second, I might be one or two words off, but I don't think I am. I think exactly what Chris Benoit said to me was, dude, look at her. She's smoking. She wants to fuck you. You want to stand here and talk to us?
Yes. Oh, man. I am naming this episode The Four Wingmen, by the way. That's what's the episode title. So, guys, if you like what you see,
standing here talking to us.
You can
check it all. How do I leave now? Like bow and say yes, sir, or say I'll leave when I want and then leave. Or
let me finish the beer real quick.
That's probably what I did. Most likely.
That's probably it. But guys, if you like what you're seeing, be sure to subscribe to Rob's YouTube channel at The Real RVD. Subscribe to RVDTV.com, and every episode drops Monday at 4:20 p.m. a.m. I'm sorry, I switched it to a.m. now, so you can tune in the mornings on every Monday.
I get it in the morning. I
get it in the morning.
I get it in the evening.
And then subscribe to the podcast channels on the iTunes and the Spotify. Give us 5 stars. Support the show. And onlywrestlers.com, like I said before, so sign up there.
And don't worry, you won't be seeing RVD doing anything sexy.
Nothing sexy there. Nothing
just
sexy.
My dimples.
That's it. And the vascularity. You got the vascularity going too, Rob.
Thanks, dude.
You're welcome.
All right. Appreciate
all right, guys.
it. And damn fam, have a great week. Appreciate you, Donatello.
Hey, why, thank you. Mamma mia. Thank you, Robbie. All right. See you guys next time here on One of a Kind with RVD.
Dominic DiNucci.
Yeah, baby.
Oh.